Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the CosFox Hanami Dango switches that were sent over to me by Kinetic Labs themselves for my honest review. So the one we're going to be taking a look at today is their linear variant, but there is a tactile variant of this switch. So let me know in the comments down below if you are interested in seeing a review for that switch. With all that being said, here are the pricings. The Hanami Dango switches are sold in packs of 70, 90, or 110. 70 switches goes for $35.70, 90 switches goes for $45.90, and 110 switches goes for $56.10. The specs of this switch are, they have a nylon top and bottom housing with a palm stem, a 48 gram actuation force for the pink variant, and the bottom out force is 60 grams. There is a total travel distance of 4 millimeters, and the spring is a 20 millimeter extended spring. That is something that we have to keep in mind when talking about the switch. Not only is the difference between the actuation force and the bottom out force quite different, it is also an extended spring, so in my opinion this switch feels a little bit slower than my other switches that I've used that are very similar to this in terms of specs. Now obviously that's more personal preference. For me, I kind of got used to it while typing, but for others you just might not like it at all. I think the coolest part about the Hanami Dango switches as a whole, including the tactile variant, is the fact that they feature a light diffuser on the switch, which means these are perfect for any board that is focusing on RGB. You kind of didn't want to go with a clear switch, but you didn't want the housing of the switch to affect your RGB performance. With this, you don't have to worry about that, and it's even better than a clear switch because the light diffuser makes the whole RGB experience feel fuller, so there's not like any blind spots that won't have any RGB. The other cool thing about this switch is they do come factory lubed, and I'm happy to say that the factory lube job is pretty good. You know, I don't really think you would absolutely have to lube these yourselves. I think you could just use them right out of the box. There is a slight tick to them when you barely tap on the top of the keycap when I use them, and you can't really hear that, but I tried to show it as best as possible in the sound test, and here's the sound test so you guys can hear how it sounds. So yeah, like I said, I don't know if you could slightly hear that ticking noise. I think if you lube the leaf of the switch, that would probably go away. But in terms of their stock experience, sound-wise, they sound pretty good. I was really happy to see that the factory lube job on these switches was not bad, and it actually benefited from this lube job. So if you weren't wanting to lube switches, this could be another potential option for you to choose from. It's very similar to the Vertex V1 switch that I reviewed a couple days back, but the spring on this switch feels a bit slower than on that Vertex V1. It's kind of like whether or not you really like a slower feel. It's not that it feels heavy, and it's not that it feels sluggish either. I don't want you to think it feels mushy or sluggish or anything, but because it does have the extended spring, it does feel like it takes a bit longer to go down, especially because it does have the total travel distance of being 4 millimeters. It's all just personal preference. At the end of the day, I still like them. They probably wouldn't be my go-to switch because I do like snappier switches with double stage springs, etc. But I wouldn't hesitate in recommending these to people that like this type of switch. I'll be leaving a link to these in the description below if you are interested in checking them out. But let me know what you guys think about the Hanami Dango switches in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.